following outline is provided as an overview of and topical guide to food preparation. What is food preparation? Food preparation are preparing foodstuffs for eating, which generally requires the selection, measurement and combining of ingredients in an ordered procedure to achieve a desired result. It includes but is not limited to cooking. What type of thing is food preparation? Art an art, one of the arts, is a creative endeavor or discipline. Culinary art art of preparing and cooking foods. Skill learned capacity to carry out predetermined results often with the minimum outlay of time, energy, or both. Essence of food preparation, chef a person who cooks professionally for other people. Although over time the term has come to describe any person who cooks for a living, traditionally it refers to a highly skilled professional who is proficient in all aspects of food preparation. Cooking act of preparing food for eating. It encompasses a vast range of methods, tools and combinations of ingredients to improve the flavor or digestibility of food. It generally requires the selection, measurement and combining of ingredients in an ordered procedure in an effort to achieve the desired result. Cuisine a specific set of cooking traditions and practices, often associated with a specific culture. It is often named after the region or place where its underlying culture is present. A cuisine is primarily influenced by the ingredients that are available locally or through trade. Food preparation techniques. Cooking techniques. Baking the technique of prolonged cooking of food by dry heat acting by convection, normally in an oven, but can also be done in hot ashes or on hot stones. Blind baking baking pastry before adding a filling. Boiling the rapid vaporization of a liquid, which occurs when a liquid is heated to its boiling point, the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid is equal to the pressure exerted on the liquid by the surrounding environmental pressure. Blanching cooking technique which food substance, usually a vegetable or fruit, is plunged into boiling water, removed after a brief, timed interval, and finally plunged into iced water or placed under cold running water to halt the cooking process. Braising combination cooking method using both moist and dry heat. Typically the food is first seared at a high temperature and then finished in a covered pot with a variable amount of liquid, resulting in a particular flavor. Coddling food is heated and water kept just below the boiling point. Infusion pressure cooking cooking in a sealed vessel that does not permit air or liquids to escape below a preset pressure, which allows the liquid in the pot to rise to a higher temperature before boiling. Simmering foods are cooked in hot liquids kept at or just below the boiling point of water, but higher than poaching temperature. Poaching process of gently simmering food in liquid, generally milk, stock or wine. Steaming boiling water continuously so it vaporizes into steam and carries heat to the food being steamed, thus cooking the food. Double steaming Chinese cooking technique in which food is covered with water and put in a covered ceramic jar and the jar is then steamed for several hours. Steeping saturation of a food in a liquid solvent to extract a soluble ingredient into the solvent. For example, a cup of tea is made by steeping tea leaves in a cup of hot water. Stewing food is cooked in liquid and served in the resultant gravy. Vacuum flask cooking broiling. Grilling a form of cooking that involves dry heat applied to the surface of food, commonly from above or below. Frying cooking food in oil or another fat, a technique that originated in ancient Egypt around 2500 BC. Deep frying food is submerged in hot oil or fat. This is normally performed with a deep fryer or chip pan. Hot salt frying hot sand frying pan frying cooking food in a pan using a small amount of cooking oil or fat as a heat transfer agent and to keep the food from sticking. Pressure frying sota copywriting stir frying microwaving, microwave oven type of oven that heats foods quickly and efficiently using microwaves, but, unlike conventional ovens, does not brown or bake food. This makes them unsuitable for cooking certain foods, or to achieve certain culinary effects. Additional kinds of heat sources can be added to microwave packaging, or into combination microwave ovens, to add these additional effects. Roasting. Roasting a Euro cooking method that uses dry heat, whether an open flame, oven, or other heat source. Roasting usually causes caramelization or Maillard browning of the surface of the food, which is considered by some as a flavor enhancement. Barbecuing a Euro method of cooking meat, poultry and occasionally fish with the heat and hot smoke of a fire, smoking wood, or hot coals of charcoal. Grilling a Euro applying dry heat to the surface of food, by cooking it on a grill pan, or griddle. Rotisserie Euro meat is skewered on a spit, a long solid rod used to hold food while it is being cooked over a fire in a fireplace or over a campfire, or while being roasted in an oven. Searing a Euro technique used in grilling, baking, braising, roasting, sauté copyrighting, etc., in which the surface of the food is cooked at high temperature so a caramelized crust forms. Hot smoking, smoking a Euro the process of flavoring, cooking, or preserving food by exposing it to the smoke from burning or smoldering plant materials, most often wood. Hot smoking will cook and flavor the food, while cold smoking only flavors the food. Chemical techniques. Brining a Euro brining is a process similar to marination in which meat or poultry is soaked in brine before cooking, cevic a Euro, drying a Euro, fermentation a Euro, marinating a Euro, pickling a Euro, salting a Euro, seasoning a Euro, souring a Euro, sprouting a Euro, sugaring a Euro, mechanical techniques, basting a Euro, cutting, chopping, dicing a Euro, grating a Euro, julienning a Euro, mincing a Euro, peeling a Euro, shaving a Euro. Kneading a Euro, milling a Euro, mixing a Euro, blending a Euro. Vacuum filling a Euro. History of food preparation, history of Chinese cuisine, international cuisine. A sample of some cuisines around the world: African cuisine or Mediterranean cuisine, Ethiopian cuisine. Asian cuisine or Chinese cuisine, Japanese cuisine, Indian cuisine, Thai cuisine, Vietnamese cuisine. European cuisine or Mediterranean cuisine, Eastern European cuisine, Russian cuisine. English cuisine, French cuisine, Italian cuisine. Oceanian cuisine or Australian cuisine, New Zealand cuisine. Cuisine of the Americas or Canadian cuisine, American cuisine, Cajun cuisine. Latin American cuisine, Mexican cuisine, South American cuisine, Argentine cuisine. General ingredients. Cereals a Euro, maize a Euro, rice a Euro, wheat a Euro, bread a Euro, noodles a Euro. Cooking fats and oils: butter a Euro, canola oil a Euro, coconut oil a Euro, corn oil a Euro, flaxseed oil a Euro, lard a Euro, margarine a Euro, olive oil a Euro, palm oil a Euro, peanut oil a Euro, rapeseed oil a Euro, sesame oil a Euro, soybean oil a Euro, sunflower oil a Euro, tallow a Euro. Dairy a Euro, buttermilk a Euro, cheese a Euro, cream a Euro, milk a Euro, yogurt a Euro. Eggs a Euro, fruits a Euro, apples a Euro, cherries a Euro, pears a Euro. Legumes a Euro, beans a Euro, lentils a Euro, soy a Euro, miso a Euro, soy cheese a Euro, soy milk a Euro, soy sauce a Euro, soy yogurt a Euro, textured soy protein a Euro, tofu a Euro. Meat a Euro, beef a Euro, fish a Euro, mutton a Euro, poultry a Euro, pork a Euro. Mushrooms a Euro, champignon a Euro. Seasonings: herbs a Euro, parsley a Euro, spices a Euro, pepper a Euro, salt a Euro. Sweeteners a Euro, agave nectar a Euro, fructose a Euro, glucose a Euro, honey a Euro, stevia a Euro, sugar a Euro. Vegetables a Euro, cucumber a Euro, eggplants a Euro, garlic a Euro, onions a Euro, potatoes a Euro, squash a Euro, tomatoes a Euro. General food preparation concepts. Cookbook a Euro, cooking oil a Euro, cooking weights and measures, cooker or stove a Euro, cuisine a Euro, cutting board a Euro, eating a Euro, flavor a Euro, food a Euro, food and cooking hygiene a Euro, foodborne illness a Euro, food preservation a Euro, Ingredients, International food terms, Maillard reaction euro, oven euro, recipe euro, restaurant euro, staple food euro. A food that is eaten regularly and in such quantities as to constitute the dominant part of the diet and supply a major proportion of energy and nutrient needs. See also: cookbooks, culinary profession, food writing, junk food, list of cocktails, list of food preparation utensils, list of soups, list of twice-baked foods, natural food, nutrition, organic food, whole food, references. External links: this outline displayed as a mind map, at wikimindmap.com, how to cook, outline of food preparation at DMOZ.